Chapter 5. The Mental Universe. The all is mind, the universe is mental. This principle is the foundation of Hermetic philosophy. To understand it is to understand the core of the Hermetic teachings. If everything in the universe comes from the all, the infinite living mind, then the universe itself must also be mental in nature. Everything you experience exists first as a thought within the mind of the all. The universe is not a mechanical structure running on its own. It is the result of a great creative process emerging from a limitless, intelligent consciousness. Just as a human mind can imagine entire worlds, the all contains the entire universe within its infinite awareness. But the mind of the all is not like the human mind. It is not limited, not changeable, and not bound by time or form. It is beyond all boundaries. Although this idea seems abstract, it has practical value. If the universe is mental, then everything in it, including your life and experiences, follows the same laws that guide all mental creations. Understanding this gives you a key to influence your environment, your mindset, and your personal reality. Hermetic masters teach that realizing the mental nature of the universe helps you rise above many limitations that trap ordinary people. When you understand that all forms and events exist within the mind of the all and are shaped by mental laws, you also realize that you can work with these laws to shape your own path. The universe is not an accident and not chaos. It is the orderly expression of the greatest mind imaginable. Because we exist within that mental expression, we also are able to think, imagine, and create. Our minds are sparks from the greater flame. To understand the mental nature of the universe is to stand at the doorway of mastery. Chapter 6. The Divine Paradox. The universe appears both finite and infinite, both real and unreal, both substantial and insubstantial. This is the divine paradox. Many people get confused because they can only hold one side of the truth at a time. Hermetic philosophy teaches that both sides must be understood together to avoid misunderstanding. From the perspective of the all, the universe is like a dream or a mental creation. It has no true separation or independence. Compared to the eternal, unchanging reality of the all, the universe is fleeting and constantly changing. In that sense, it is insubstantial. But from our perspective, within the universe, everything appears solid, structured, and governed by laws. The physical world, the energies, the forces, the cycles of nature, all of it is real to us because we experience it. To deny this practical reality would be foolish. Both views are true at the same time. The universe is real to its inhabitants, but not real compared to the all. Just as a dream feels real to the one experiencing it, yet has no true substance compared to waking life, the universe exists in a relative sense. The Hermetic student must understand both sides. If you treat the world as completely unreal, you will fall into confusion and weakness. If you treat the world as absolutely solid and final, you trap yourself in limitation. True wisdom lies in seeing the universe as a mental creation, but still respecting the laws and forces that operate within it. This is the divine paradox. To move forward on the path of understanding, you must hold both truths without losing balance. Chapter 7. The All. The Hermetic teachings state that while the universe exists within the mind of the all does not dwell within the universe. Nothing can contain or limit the all. Instead, the all manifests its presence through every part of creation. Everything carries a spark of the underlying reality. The all is not separated from the universe, nor is it divided into pieces. Rather, its presence flows through everything, just as light shines through many windows without being broken into fragments. Each being, each object, each force is an expression of the greater mind. This does not mean that humans or any other beings are equal to the all. A drop of water from the ocean is not the ocean itself, yet it shares the same nature. In the same way, Every person carries an inner connection to the all. This connection is the source of consciousness, creativity, intuition, and the ability to think. Hermetic philosophy teaches that the more you recognize this inner connection, the stronger your ability becomes to work with mental and spiritual laws. You begin to understand that your thoughts influence your experience because thought is the basic substance of the universe itself. However, the teachings warn against arrogance. Having a spark does not make you the flame. The all remains infinite. A. Beyond comprehension. Humans are expressions within the great mental field, not the creators of it. The wise student learns to respect the vastness of the all, while also recognizing their own inner power. You are not separate from the universe. You are a part of its mental expression. To know this is to reach a higher state of awareness and responsibility. Chapter 8. Planes of Correspondence. The Hermetic teachings explain that existence is divided into many levels, or planes, each with its own laws and characteristics. These planes are not separate places. They are different levels of vibration and expression within the same universal reality. There are three major categories of planes: the physical plane, the mental plane, and the spiritual plane. Each major plane contains countless subplanes, stretching from the densest forms of matter to the highest forms of spiritual awareness. On the physical plane, energy and matter operate under the laws of physics. This includes everything visible to our senses, from solid objects to invisible forces like heat, electricity, and light. Even the tiniest particles and forms of energy belong to this level. The mental plane includes all forms of mind and thought. This covers human consciousness, animal consciousness, elemental mental forces, and greater forms of intelligence that exist far beyond human understanding. Thought, imagination, emotion, and memory all exist on this plane. The spiritual plane contains the highest forms of life and consciousness. These levels are so refined that ordinary human minds cannot fully grasp them. Here exist the beings and intelligences that operate closer to the essence of the all. These planes are not imaginary. They are just beyond the range of normal perception. The principle of correspondence teaches that the same patterns repeat across all planes. As above, so below, as below, so above. By understanding how something works on one plane, the student gains insight into how it functions on higher or lower planes. This key allows the Hermetic student to unlock deeper truths. The planes differ in vibrational frequency, not in location. All exist within the universal mind. By raising or refining one's own vibration, a person becomes aware of higher levels of existence and understanding. The teaching of the planes reminds the student that the universe is far larger and more complex than it appears, and that growth always involves moving to a higher state of vibration. Chapter 9. Vibration. Nothing in the universe is at rest. Everything moves, everything vibrates, and everything is in constant motion. This is the principle of vibration, and it explains many mysteries of both science and spirit. Differences between forms, states, and levels of existence are caused entirely by differences in vibrational frequency. Matter, energy, mind, and spirit are all simply varying degrees of vibration. The denser the vibration, the more solid and physical something appears. The higher the vibration, the more refined and mental or spiritual it becomes. Even what appears to be solid matter is made of particles vibrating at intense speeds. Heat, light, electricity, and magnetism are all expressions of vibratory motion. Thought itself is a form of vibration, operating on a higher plane than physical energy. The Hermetic teachings state that by understanding vibration, the student gains a key to influencing their inner and outer world. Emotions, thoughts, moods, and states of consciousness can all be changed by shifting one's vibrational level. Lower states can be raised, and higher states can be stabilized through practice and awareness. Masters of Hermetic knowledge are able to control their own vibrations and influence the vibrations around them. They rise above destructive emotions by shifting to higher mental frequencies. They avoid being dragged down by the vibrations of fear, anger, or confusion. Instead, they remain centered and steady. The same principle applies to every plane. Physical, mental, and spiritual phenomena are all governed by vibration. As above, so below holds true here as well. To understand the different vibrational states of existence is to understand why the universe appears diverse yet unified. This principle teaches that nothing is fixed or unchangeable. Every state can be transformed by altering its vibration. Through knowledge and practice, the student can lift themselves into higher levels of awareness, purpose, and inner power. Chapter 10. Polarity. Everything in the universe has two poles, and everything has its opposite. This is the principle of polarity. Opposites are really just extremes of the same thing, differing only in degree. Hot and cold, light and darkness, large and small, love and hate, all are expressions of the same underlying reality, with differences only in vibration or intensity. Understanding polarity allows the Hermetic student to reconcile apparent opposites and resolve conflicts within themselves. A feeling of fear and a feeling of courage are not two separate things. They are opposite ends of the same emotional scale. By raising or lowering one's vibration, a person can move from one extreme to the other. Everything contains its opposite, and the extremes merge. Nothing is absolute. Life and death, success and failure, pleasure and pain, these dualities are part of the same continuum. Recognizing this truth prevents the mind from being trapped in extremes or illusions. The Hermetic masters teach that mastering polarity gives control over the mind and emotions. By understanding that one's current state is only a degree on a scale, the student can consciously shift toward higher, more harmonious vibrations. Thoughts, moods, and reactions are all subject to this principle. In practical terms, polarity explains how the mind can transform adversity into opportunity. By seeing challenges as one extreme of a spectrum, the student learns to move toward balance and harmony. The principle applies to everything, mental, physical, and spiritual, and is a key tool for self-mastery. This understanding is essential for personal growth. To realize that opposites are simply relative extremes allows the student to navigate life with wisdom, flexibility, and calm, rising above the illusion of conflict. Chapter 11. Rhythm. Everything flows in and out, rises and falls, and moves in cycles. This is the principle of rhythm. The pendulum swings in everything. The measure of the swing to the right is the measure of the swing to the left. Rhythm compensates and balances all things. The Hermetic teaching explains that everything is subject to rhythm. Physical, mental, and spiritual phenomena all move in cycles. Seasons change, tides rise and fall, emotions fluctuate, and fortunes shift. Nothing remains static, and all things are in motion, swinging between extremes. Understanding rhythm allows the student to predict, prepare for, and work with natural cycles rather than being buffeted by them. By recognizing the pattern of movement, one can reduce the negative effects of the swing and increase the positive. The Hermetic master learns to use rhythm to their advantage. They do not resist the pendulum's swing, for resistance increases suffering. Instead, they rise above its extremes by keeping centered, using mental and spiritual strength to remain steady as circumstances change. The principle also teaches that what goes up must come down, and what goes down must rise. Success and failure, happiness and sorrow, health and sickness all follow this law. By understanding that swings are natural and temporary, the student can maintain inner balance and composure. Mastery of rhythm is essential for controlling the mind and emotions. It allows the student to move with life rather than against it, adapting to changes without being overwhelmed. By learning the law of rhythm, one gains freedom from the extremes of fortune and fate.